Hi guys, Mom Vernon Kid here coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody had a good weekend as well as had a fun day. Yesterday was free comic book day. I, for one, only was able to get 3 books. That's how crazy it was. There was a couple other books I wanted to get, um, but I couldn't get it. For example, there was the Steampunk Wizard of Oz book I wanted to check out. There was an Aphrodite 9 book I wanted to check out. But I'll show off what I did get. Alright, so the Superman Last Son of Krypton special edition that was written by Jeff Johns and Richard Donner. A Valiant, like 2000, what's to come later for Valiant in 2013. And of course the Jonathan Hickman, Jim Chung, Infinity Prelude to the event that's coming later on with Thanos. So looking forward to that, which is just going to be an Avengers event, so that's good. So let's get on to the comics as always. Much love and respect to the people at DarkAvengerINC Plus and the DarkAvengerINC, basically, you know, the DarkAvengerINC family, and of course much love and respect, bro fist, to my good friend, my bro, mentor, Blue Goblin. Remember guys, his reviews are on his BlugoblinX channel, so you check out his reviews on there. His Blue Goblin 101 channel, he still does some stuff on there, but he's still kind of in hot water over some ridiculous crap. But let's go on the review, shall we? So we are on episode, what is this? 97, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just a few more away to that live review, that live show. You know, I'm looking forward to that. I might even dress up for the 100th episode. So let's kick it off. So we're in May. So now I will present the books: Marvel, Independent, end it with DC, and we kick it off with all new X-Men number 11. Bendis still good. Stewart and Mott, artwork's great. The only problem I had about this book was the fact that this was spoiled. This was spoiled. We all know Angel went along with the team, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Jean, she starts to use her mental ability, you know, her telepathic abilities, kind of go a little bit out of control. She's starting to kind of become too dominant, trying to get Warren to stay. He's like, no. The bitch Emma Frost is being a bitch, along with her little Stepford cuckoos, you know, which pissed me off too. But I had to give a little credit to what Warren said in this, as well as what Storm and Wolverine were trying to say. You know, like, we're not going to be fighting you here. Leave. This is not your property. Go away. You know, basically they were actually being the cooler heads in this, which are fine. And I love how, you know, still love how Kitty is being portrayed in this. Everything. But we get to see what's to come, because Raven Darkholm, aka Mystique, is still making her ploy, and she's disguising herself as Wolverine, I believe, or so, you know, and having Lady Mastermind see people as the young X-Men, seeing the young X-Men and Wolverine attacking places. This time they attacked Stark Resilience, and that gets the attention of once again, this brings on the United Team squad of the Avengers, the Uncanny Avengers. And this is something that Bendis has been building up to, having Havoc meet the younger self of his older brother, Cyclops. So I'm looking forward to that. But I do know that the original 5, they're going to get new costumes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what their new costumes are going to look like. But it'd be kind of killer if Cyclops, young Cyclops, gets his he wears the 90s Cyclops look. I would love that. That would kill me right there, because I love Cyclops' 90s look. And maybe Jean gets the 90s jean look and things like that, and that'd be killer. I would love that. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. But yeah, Emma still being a bitch, and Ileana, my God, she's still going down that path. Age of Ultron, this is book 7. 3 more to go. Bendis still writing. Peterson's still doing the artwork. This is the results of what happened when Sue and Wolverine completed their mission. The timeline has changed, and this is what we get. This is not the Avengers, people. This is the Defenders, and that is Janet. Now, I want to correct Comic Uno, my friend Kat, when she said that they haven't been using Janet after she came back in the last New Avengers, back when she came back from the negative zone. Janet is on the Uncanny Avengers. She's the one that pretty much will be financing them in a sense. Remember, Janet's rich. So I just wanted to clear that up for her, just some friendly advice, as well. But in this, she's Captain Marvel, which is kind of interesting. And Cyclops is Cable. Look what happened to Cap. He's got an eye patch. Hulk looks like his arm is all scarred up. Thing looks all messed up. And that's pretty much where the two is in this world. That's where they meet. And they think they're Skrulls, but they're not. And it gets really dire and everything like that. They're just trying to survive. Thing is like, Susie, is that you? Because Susie's disappeared in the world they made now. And it's getting crazy. To the point where at one point, look what happened to Tony Stark. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, time travel. It's a bitch sometimes. You can play with it or you can change it. And let's just say when you change it, it's not right. So once again, if you want to, that Defenders is Colonel America, not Captain America. Colonel America, Star-Lord, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Cable, Thing, and Wolverine. Yeah. But yeah, look what happens. See what happens? Alright. Hawkeye, number 10. Fraction still doing right, and Franca Villa, I hope I'm saying his name right, does the artwork. This is they give us a glimpse and origin, I believe, of the man who shot one of the tenants that live in Hawkeye's building, Gil. At the end of the last issue, we saw him kill somebody. And we kind of see what Kate does when she's not around, once again, when she's not around with Hawkeye. And, with Clint. And we kind of see that. And she's really kind of getting into him, and he's getting into her, and, it's like, whoa, okay. She doesn't know who he is, though. But it's to the point, it's just like, wow, this is some really gritty stuff, I was really like, whoa, like, this guy's got his past is crazy, and it kind of gives you a glimpse of why he puts up the makeup, the clown makeup, and the tear on the eye and things like that. I was like, all right, not bad. Yeah, you heard me, not bad. Indestructible Hulk. Still having problems, guys, saying that. This is number 7. Magic Wade, Mark Magic Wade, and the legend Mr. Walter Simonson doing the artwork. This was just a fun read to me. The dialogue in here was just so classically funny. Classic Thor. Bruce and his team, his scientific team, are in the past. They're in the past, so that's why Thor looks like it in his classic look. I love how Wade fooled us. I think he fooled me, because it looked like Hulk he was worthy enough to pick up Mjolnir, and unfortunately, it wasn't. It was just Mjolnir coming back to his wielder. Thor was just calling him Mjolnir, and Hulk went for the ride. And when they meet, they look face. I thought, let me show you. It was funny. It was funny. Let me see, where is it? Here it is. Clunk, they walk right in. And so I love what Thor said. He says, "You really didn't think, I didn't think that you were worthy to, for Mjolnir." And he says, "Did you green one?" And he says, he says, he said, basically, you want to make a bet that you're not. So Thor, with Hulk still in the hand, with Mjolnir, drops Mjolnir off the cliff with Hulk in it, and Hulk and Mjolnir is just falling. And I was like, I just started laughing. I thought it was funny. But the two team up to fight the Frost Giants, which was fun, and protect, Bruce's scientific team that he has. And it was just really fun. It was just a fun read to me. Just make you show that Mark Waid can, he's having fun with this book. It's not just, brooding Hulk. It's just fun. It was just fun. That's all. All right. Secret Origin of Tony Stark. This is Iron Man number 9. Fraction does not do the artwork. It is Eagle's Ham. I like his artwork. Very good stuff. Gillian is telling some kind of secret origin of something from the past that has to deal with Tony's dad. Tony is still looking for that android from the last issue called 451 after what he did in the last issue, and he hired Deathhead to find him, and it's a cat and mouse game between that. But we find out there's some things in there that happen. But as for a secret origin of Tony Stark, I can't call it that. Now, why do I keep reading this? Some people may say, "Chris, why do you keep reading it?" I like Iron Man. So kill me. So soon. Next up, Superior Spider-Man number 9. Dan Slott, Ryan Steck. I did not like this book. Not at all. Not at all. Reading this book really got me completely angry. Angry. Basically, this is what it was like Dan Slott was doing to me. Booting me in the face multiple times. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. That's what that was like. And because of that, I'm not going to review it. There you go. Now, will I continue to read the book? Yes. Because I do like the supporting cast. If you don't know who Comic Uno is, subscribe to her as well, because she made a good point as well. She loves the supporting cast, and that's one thing I love too about the Spider-Man world. The supporting cast is great. Not just the lead, but the supporting cast. And like I said before, I will continue to ride it through, because I know they are not gonna keep Peter dead. He's gonna come back, and I have a feeling I know how. It's gonna deal with sorcery. I know it is. If it doesn't deal with sorcery, then it's gonna deal with something else. But the fact is, I did not like that issue at all. Now, if you want to know what I thought was going to happen in that issue, or what was going to happen from now on with Superior Spider-Man, message me and I'll tell you what I thought. But I'm not going to waste my time right now here. Let's go on to the next book. Thanos Rising, number 2. This is still the miniseries. Jason Aaron is writing along with Simone Blanchi artwork. Basically, Thanos is recalling his early childhood. That's what this is. And in the last issue we saw, Thanos had a fear of killing people, death. He didn't like it. Then at the end of that book, we saw he took a turn left and everything went the way that we know Thanos to be. In this issue, it's even explored even more. I'm telling you, my God, Thanos is becoming you're starting to see the remnants of where Thanos is becoming for his love of death, and it is really, really, really becoming more and more like what he's now. And it's to the point, one time, I'll show you, I'll even show you, like, he gets to the point where he literally, I'll show you this part. He's witnessing a lovely couple, basically, just sharing their love for each other. And he's spying on them, like he's stalking them. And he's like, yes, come on, like, he's like, yes. He's like, yes, don't stop. Don't stop. He's just watching them. Like the couple is like, don't stop, it feels right and everything, don't stop. And he's just watching them. And then all of a sudden, turn to the next page, he's got them captured, tied up. And then he's like, I want you both to know, look at this, picking up a scalpel. I will remember this forever. And you're like, holy shit. Like, he's that. Now we're starting to see the birth of the real Thanos. And the ending, I'm not going to spoil that. God, no. Alright. Winter Soldier, number 18. Kevin Latour, and Nick Klein. First of all, guys, have you seen the look for Bucky, Winter Soldier in the next Captain America movie? Tell me you guys don't like that look from him. That look is great. I love it. I'm glad they went with that look. I would have, of course, I would have loved to see him with the domino mask, but him having the half-cut mask, that's great. That looks perfect. But let's go to this. So we get the origin of the woman, the woman that Bucky had encountered, as well as that he killed her father when he was still the Winter Soldier. Her name is Tessela Tara Sova, and she's remerged as this person called the Electric Ghost, and she's stolen the SHIELD satellite. So Bucky went up there to confront her, to stop this. Unfortunately, when he found out who she was, now it's come to the point where he doesn't know what he can do with it. Sorry about that, guys. My phone. I apologize. Can't rehearse this stuff. But as I said, this was a very interesting title. This Electric Ghost that she is no joke. She was able to disable Bucky really quickly. She's telling her origin to him and what happened to him after Bucky killed her father. She's gone from foster home to foster home, so she went into like military school where she became really a beast, really a beast. And how she became this later on, and she's disabled Bucky. Like, she took his metal arm off, and he has to just sit there and watch it. And then she comes to realize, like, look, the world is gonna end. I'm gonna bring it. And I'll let you look at one part. She's like, you're free now, James. I release you of your pain. And kiss. But yeah, Bucky feels responsible for, and Bucky could be right. He's like, he's got every right to, kind of say, did he make her that way? All right. X Factor 255, Peter David. This is part 6 of the Hell on Earth. I really don't want to spoil this book. After I got off being a little sad and angry with 9 of Superior Spider-Man, I read this and it brought me kind of back into blue funk again because of something that happens in this. But they're still dealing with the remnants of Mephisto. It is found out that Mephisto has took over, is leading everything now from the other Hell Lords and everything like that. And I don't want to spoil it. I'm sorry. It was really good, but once again, take the knife and stab me again in the heart. Luckily, I can't die, so, but still, another heart shot. It still hurts, but I can just pull it right out and, I'm okay. It'll heal back up real quick. But yeah, it was just really sad. Really sad. Sorry. All right, so let's get out of we're out of Marvel, and we go to independent. So we'll kick it off with Archie Comics. This is Sonic the Hedgehog 248, and it's on. Yeah, the two heroes are still fighting. They're still going at it. And their two arch enemies are still watching it, and they're glad it's happening. They even do, which was really funny because I thought when I saw that, I was like, Mr. Ian Flynn, that's who writes this. I thought it was really funny that he wrote that. Dr. Wily and Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman, whatever you want to call him, does the evil bro fist, and I was like, that's stupid, but it was funny. And it's becoming that the two heroes, they're just still going at it. It's still the point of, I don't know you, you don't know me. I think you're a bad guy. I gotta stop you, blah, blah, blah. I think you're working for Dr. Eggman, everything like that. Mistaken identity, pretty much. Mega Man's running out of juice. He's running out of energy. He needs to get back to his world. And we see what's going on back in his world with Dr. Light and Roll and Proto Man and everything like that. Proto Man gives him something that Mega Man gave him before he jumped into the portal. And Dr. Light is able to open up a portal. Pretty much. And in the meantime, Mega Man and Sonic are still fighting to the point where Mega Man knows, okay, I'm running out of juice. I gotta get back to my world. I gotta get out of here. So let me sucker this guy into, sucker him into coming with me. And that's pretty much what he does. He suckers Sonic into coming into his world, the city. Because Mega Man still can't believe Sonic is organic. Because Mega Man reads him and he's registered as being organic. But nothing that organic can be that fast. He's thinking maybe Sonic is maybe a biotic or something like that, but he's not. And pretty much, they get back to Mega Man's world. Dr. Wily knows who did it. He knew right away how a portal opened up. And he even says, well played, George, or, I think it's George. Dr. Light's first name. He's like, well played. And Dr. Eggman's like, who's George? And then he tells him, he's like, can he ruin our plans? And is he smarter than us? And, Wily's like, no, he's not. But he's still a threat. And when Mega Man and Sonic get back to his world, Sonic's like, okay, where the hell am I? I'm not in the first station. He's basically like, okay, this is, how did I wind up in Station Square? This isn't Central City, or Westopolis, all these famous places in the Sonic universe that you play in the games. And he says, and he's like, where the heck am I? And Sonic is like, Mega Man's like, you're on my turf now. And he's like, I'm on my hometown, and even all thanks to my dad. And he's like, Dad? Wait a minute, you're a robot. How the heck can you have a dad? And he says, then Sonic's like, you know what? Mega Man's like, well, you know what? That's the thing, it's time to call for some backup. And we see Sonic, Mega Man, basically, you see little things, like energy balls falling out of the sky, and next you know, Sonic's like, oh crap. And then look who's there. You got Rush, you got little Eddie in the back. You see him behind his legs, behind Mega Man's legs. I'm forgetting the bird, and I don't recall the cat. But yeah, and then Mega Man's like, you want to give up now? And so it was fun. It's just a fun read, very fun. That was part 3 of the Worlds Collide storyline. I've been loving it so far. It's been really fun. So we move on to Dynamite, and Dynamite has brought us another pulp character, but modernized it. Put him in a modernized world, but still keep the essence of what he was like back in the 30s. Now this guy is called Black Bat. I love that Billy Tan artwork cover. I'm a huge fan of Billy Tan. He's one of my favorite artists. I know Black Bat. Once again, Black Bat came around, I believe, if I remember correctly, he came out a year or a couple of months before Batman. And so him and Batman came out around the same time. The difference is he's blind, but he can see in the dark. Kind of like Daredevil. But he doesn't have like radar sense or anything like that. He's a good hand-to-hand combat. He carries guns. He's not afraid to kill. And yeah. So in this issue, so basically, I'm just gonna give you the synopsis of what Black Bat is. I'm gonna just tell you this was really good. It's written by Brian Buccello, who wrote, Flash and everything like that. And Ronan Chilquick's artwork is really good. Black Bat is an attorney. He was an attorney that worked for the mob. And he used to turn his head against everything until finally he started to get some sense in his head. You know what? Like, I'm not going to do it. It's not going to cover it. So it kind of gives you a sense of, there's a saying that I remember in a TV show where basically a person said to this lawyer, he's like, how can you take on clients that you know are guilty for what they've done, even though everyone is due to a fair trial? This kind of brings up that point. His name is Tony Quinn, and he basically stopped doing what the mob told him, and because of that, the mob blinded him. And now he's on a quest of redemption as Black Bat. Now he has eyes, but they're black. They're shaded black, like a bat. They're just, and kind of in a sense where the bat comes from. And he basically is in a point. He can still see. He's not blind, like kind of like Daredevil. Like I said, he's not blind. He still can see people, especially in dark. He can see completely. He's very much great in dark. Like if he was fighting somebody, he turns the light out, he could see you, but you can't see him. But yeah, this was really good. I really enjoyed it. Dynamite does it again, and why I've always said Dynamite is one of my favorite movies. Okay. Bionic Man number 19. Basically, Steve Austin, the Bionic Man, is still in the Middle East on a secret mission to stop a war from happening. And does he stop it? He kind of does. But it's really to the point where he goes into disguise as the leader that's trying to cause the war, but that leader gets free and something bad happens that could mean the consequences for the United States. And it's up to Steve to push his bionic parts to the limit now. And we're going to see in the next issue, because this is the next issue is the conclusion of this story arc, which is entitled, what's the name of this I'm forgetting what is the name of this it's Desert Trap. That's the title of this story arc right here. But still fun, still good. Aaron Gillespie, I'm hoping I'm saying his name right, does a good job writing, and it's fun, very fun indeed. Once again, Dynamite does it again. And we move to one of the original pulp era females, Miss Fury. This is another Billy Tan cover. I love her. Billy Tan just does good artwork. Look at that. That's beautiful. Very good. Miss Fury. All right. This is part 2. Rob Williams still does the right work, and Jack Hubert still does the artwork. And once again, this is still the basis of the book. It's going back from 40s to now, and you know it even says switch, and it goes back to where it is. We see in the beginning, Ms. Fury is in Manhattan, 2013, and she's fighting, trying to keep herself alive. You know, she's got a huge machine gun in her hand, like I'll show you right now. Look at that. She's got a huge machine gun in her hand, and she's clearly fighting this Harrier jet. And look at this, beautiful, right? Like she takes aim, bam, and shoots the guy right in the head, bam. The jet falls, and unfortunately, she's like, oh shit. And she jumps out of the way. She's got to run, and she jumps into a down plane jet, but she shoots off the ejector seats. I'll show you that part. And she dislocated her arm when she grabbed hold of she fell off the seat. She dislocates her arm. She falls. And she's like, you know, she's glad for skyscrapers. She even said, thank God for skyscrapers. And that's where she wakes up in custody of this organization. And pretty much she knows who these people are because she met them before back in the 40s. And she's even said, I know you. And they're talking to her and everything like that. But they come to realize like she's a Jane Doe. There's no record of her, even though she's real. She's not fake. But it really starts to play up the factor of like, is this real or is this in her head? But she goes to tell them that she starts to see this old man who's a Nazi, but nobody else can see her, just she can. And that's kind of the twist in it. You know what I'm saying? Bam. And you know, basically they start to realize that all the stuff that Ms. Drake, that's her name, Darla Drake, Ms. Fury is saying is true. There are basically in the 40s, Nazis were able to infiltrate the United States, and not only infiltrate the United States, but also infiltrate high positions in the United States. And we see now the outcome of this in 2013. And so this organization knows that they got to take out. So they're going to use her to take out these Nazi plants. But back in the 40s, we see Darla just basically she's getting it on. She loves the Darla. Her name is Marla, excuse me. We're just seeing her like she loves showing off her ass a lot. It's not even funny. It's a little graphic. This is not for kids to be reading. Younger audience, but other than that, it's still been good. It's really good. Very good indeed. All right. The Spider, number 11. David List and Ivan Rodriguez are still doing the artwork. I miss David Worley. Stephen Worley, the artist that used to do it. I miss his artwork. But the storytelling's real good. David List is still doing a fantastic job on this modern take of another classic pulp hero. So in this issue, oh boy, where should I start with this? Richard Wentworth, the Spider, he is not happy. He was humiliated by the Fly. He got played by the Fly, everything. However, now someone is killing cops. Targeting cops. They're killing, and I'm talking about, let me show you what some of the stuff, how they've been able to do it. He says he's and he calls himself the Law Giver. Yeah, I'm not joking. That's his name, the Lawgiver. Um, the Fly, for all you guys who don't know, the Fly is the Spider's arch enemy from back in the days, just modernized. So he's the Spider's arch enemy. But the Lawgiver, I'm not really familiar if that's another one of his classic villains, like some of the other villains that we saw in previous issues. But the Lawgiver he's killing people, like killing cops. He even at one point he put bombs in their cars um, to take out a police captain. At one point he poisoned a box of donuts. Yeah, he poisoned a box of donuts, cops and donuts, and left it at a precinct and killed the cops. Like I'll show you that right now. Look at him choking on donuts, dying. So he's trying to, but now he's upping the ante. Now whoever gets involved, he's taking them out. Now Richard, the woman that he loves, Nina, she's married to the police commissioner, but Richard loves her too. And we know the situation that's going on between them. And Richard's going to help out because he does like the commissioner too. He respects him, but it's just Nina is between them and things like that. He gets a call from his, the people that he works with, Rama and all of them. And he gives them a code like, meet us for pizza. Pizza to them is a code because he knows that that's a code for all your stuff is bugged. So they go meet, and Rama tells everybody. He tells Richard, yeah, I found out your whole your company's phones, everything is bugged. And we see who bugged it. The Fly. He's bugged it, and we get to see that the Lawgiver. I'll even show you what the Lawgiver looks like. This is him right here. The guy with the judge stuff on. Doesn't he look like the third identity of a Two-Face from the Batman series? The judge, he's working for the Fly, and the Fly is putting into the Fly's people is putting into. He's gonna do something that really happens. That's really gonna change the world of the Spider. Now, I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but he does some things that you just like. Oh, he's upping the ante. He's gonna really humiliate the Fly, the Spider, even more. And at the end of the issue, yeah, it gets really bad. And then it's even a more shocker from David List. He just shocks us even more, and it's like, oh! And then I'm like, I knew it. I knew that. I knew it, but I'm not gonna spoil it. You just got to read the Spider. It's just been really good, very good. All right. I really wasn't gonna pick this up, but I was like, you know what? Let me just, because I do like the Shadow Man. So Shadow Man, we're in the Valiant. This is issue 0. Justin Jordan does it right. Roberto Del Toro does the artwork. Basically, this is the origin of Darkholm, Master Darkholm. That's all this is. It's a gritty, dark origin of Master Darkholm. That's all. That's all. Don't really have to explain too much. It's all. You kind of get to see what his father was like. He had a sister. They were really close. The markings on Darkholm's face, those tattoos, were given to them by their father. He did it old school style. I'm talking that old technique of tattooing, not with a needle, like tattoo like this, but but with a just ding ding ding, that tapping in the needle, old school style. But yeah, it was dark. It was just really gritty. I was like, oh man. But yeah, that's all that was. It was just the origin of Master Darkholm. All right, so we move on to DC now. We're ending this in DC, right? All right, here we go. All right, let's move on. So we move on to AquaMan number 19. Jeff Johns, Pelletier, Paul Pelletier. Behold the new king of Atlantis and his faithful subjects. Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? All right. This was good. I enjoyed it. We kind of get a sense of Arthur summoning something. Not gonna spoil what that is. It seems that what he was summoning, he can't tell, his telepathy can't control it, because the thing is, the creature is too smart, too highly intelligent, but he knows it, and he's like, his name is Tobo. I'll show you what it looks like. That's it right there. Creepy, right? And we also see what's going on with Tula and all of them about trying to free, you know, Orm from Blackgate Prison and everything like that. And yeah, it's getting really, really dire from there. I'm not going to spoil too much of that, but that's where that's going with. In the meantime, we get to see this king or so, or whatever, we saw what happened. We see what happens to Mira, and she gets taken down below by this thing right here. Don't want to spoil too much, but it's the ending that really was like, what? No way. Mira gets brought, and we find out Mira's a princess, and they're like, it is her, and it has to be, and you know, and Tula, I keep saying Tula. Mira says, where is this certain guy? Not gonna spoil what it is, and he says, at last you have returned, and basically, I thought you were dead. I thought, not gonna spoil that part, was dead. We find out something about what Mira's been hiding from Arthur, and it was like another gut shot, not heart shot. I was like, oh my god. I was like, now where are they going with that? All right, so we move on to Batwing number 20 to face his first and most deadly foe. So the new creative team of Jimmy Palmito, and James Gray. And so basically, we should all know who the new Batwing 2.0 is. David Zambambi is no, he stopped being Batwing. So Bruce went with his first choice for Batwing, which is Luke Fox, the son of Lucius Fox. And so he's dealing with his first run as Batwing in Africa. And I love the line where you see him when they're going back and forth, from present to past, when he's talking to Batman, and Batman says, I need you in Africa. And Luke says, why? Because I'm the black guy? And Batman laughs. He's like, funny. And I was like, whoa, he's smiling. But he's dealing with this organization, this group that calls themselves this group called Lady Maruba. And basically they're like an ant group, ant colony. She's got like a bionic ant suit. You can see right here. This was good. You know why? Because it felt like Batman Beyond. That's why I was loving it, because it's Bruce talking with David. Luke in the suit. The suit is like Batman Beyond. It increases his strength. It's like an armor and everything like that. And and he's really learning. He's learning how to deal with. He's using all the tools of the trade that his many martial art teachers have taught him. And you hear him talk about it and everything like that. And he's really investigating everything. Luke, and you see Alfred talking to him and like, how long will you be like his ears? And Bruce is like, until he really gets it down pat. And Alfred starts to question, like, is it really wise to have your employee's son as Batwing, especially, what if something, God forbid, happens to him? How are you going to explain that to him? You know, things like that. And even I was questioning that myself. And I was liking that questioning by Alfred. We get to see, you know, Batwing has his own like vehicle and everything like that, which is cool. And he's dealing with this guy. I'll show you the villain that he's dealing with. This guy right here. He's called Lion Man. He looks like a Lion Man / Centaur. I'll show you him right here. Here he is. Kind of cool looking. And Luke's pretty much he's fighting this guy. He's fighting him, but the guy's Lion Mane is so fast and so quick. You know, he's like, you know, I'm trying to keep on. Especially he's not only he's fighting him, but he's fighting his 2 female bodyguards. And then when Lion Mane gets involved, it's like, you know, that's what right there. I think the name sucks, you know, Lion Mane, like for a lion's mane. But other than that, I'm enjoying this new direction for Batwing. I enjoyed where David took us. Now let's see where Luke Fox is going to take us. That's it. Detective Comics number 20, Emperor Penguin Unchained. Basically, it's a fight with the goddamn Emperor Penguin, and now he's taken the you know, the Batwing formula, Man-Bat formula, and there's some other formula involved in it that made him look like this. And he beats Bruce up the first time. But as we always know, you beat Bruce once, you're not going to do it again. And Bruce is ready for him because Bruce said, even says it, I fought you like a man. I should have fought you like I'm fighting a monster. And that's pretty much what he does. Surprisingly, what really surprises me in this was some of the stuff that happens with Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, which was really interesting. There was some more stuff in there, especially at the end between him. But it was all good. I enjoyed it. It's fun. Like I said, the surprising stuff was with Penguin, the real Penguin, not this. And then it's what happened at the end of, we get an origin of this guy, the Emperor Penguin crap. And then he changes his name again when he's in Blackgate prison. And I'll tell you what he calls himself. Now, after he takes out the head honcho at Blackgate, he calls himself Emperor Blackgate. And I'm like, dude, make up your fucking mind. I'm like, come on. Earth 2. James Robinson, Nicola Scott. We get the War of Wu-Tang. Do we get a battle between Dr. Fate and Wu-Tang? Hell yes! I'm sorry. Oh my god. I love Dr. Fate's look. It is fantastic. Look at that. It's metal, mesh, you know, and of course, like the blue part of it is like stars all over it. Great stuff. And we see that Khalid, who is, you know, put on Naboo, he's listening to Naboo. He's fighting Wu-Tang. They're in Boston. They're fighting, and a magical battle's going on while people watching this. However, you know, we finally get to see, you know, while that's going on, we go back an hour ago, what was going on with Green Lantern and Hawk Girl while they were in China trying to figure out why Green Lantern's Alan's lover was killed. And we found out some things in there that is crazy, especially in terms of dead, like storage facilities of dead parademons. I'm not even going to go really in detail about that, but it's Alan is being called by the Green, the people, the Green Flame is telling him, you need to be in Boston, and it's like he cannot control that. Where it urges him to go, he has to go. So he kind of leaves Hawk Girl high and dry in China, and he's like still looking to what's going on with this, but I have to go. And pretty much he flies back to Boston, and there, you know, Wu-Tang and Dr. Fate are still fighting, and Alan and Jay are like, you know, Jay's telling him the bad guy, the good guy with the green and, you know, the guy with the helmet and blue, that's the good guy, Dr. Fate. The bad guy with the green skin that's the bad guy. And the world's army is about to get involved. So they're going to use a distraction to keep, so Dr. Fate doesn't have to keep turning his attention to the World Army and deal with Wu-Tan. He has to keep his eyes right on Wu-Tan. And we see Fate just calling to all the gods, when he's using his magic, like Horus. He's like Horus, the Egyptian god of war and everything like that. And it was just like, I was getting giddy because all these gods are being called out. Now, I'm a big mythology buff, so I know exactly who he's calling. So I'm like, go, like, yeah, go, Fate, go. And it was really good to the point where, Dr. Fate gets them out. Now, will I spoil it? No, I won't spoil it. There's Dr. Fate defeat Wu-Tan. Not gonna spoil that. But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed this issue was action-packed, and it served its purpose very well. What's to come next? I don't want to spoil too much, but I will tell you who's coming soon. Believe it or not, let me show you. It says next issue, War and Fire, Captain Steel, and Batman? Ooh, okay. But Earth 2, really good stuff. All right. So I hope you guys are still with me. Had a lot to talk about this week. But we move on to Green Arrow, number 20, Komodo, Keeper of the Deadly Secrets. All right. Jeff Lemire, I'm going to say it again. The switch in terms of Lemire from where the previous creative teams were is fantastic. So it's pretty much now a fight with Ollie and Komodo again. Now, we've seen in the previous issue, Komodo seems to be a better archer, a better fighter than Ollie. But Ollie finds out that one of the people that he thought, he died in the explosion. Naomi is alive. And the people that Komodo is working for, which I won't spoil, tell Komodo, come back to headquarters now. You failed. You were supposed to kill Oliver Queen. You didn't, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, if I'm going to go back, before I go back, I'm going to deal with him he's not obeying orders. All right? And Ollie's just all bruised up. He's got broken ribs, contusions, you name it. And he pulled like a couple of arrows out of him. And one of his allies like, look, you can't go into this fight. It's a trap. You know it is. But Ollie's like, I gotta go. I gotta save Naomi. Naomi, she's a good friend. I can't let her die. And it's pretty much there, it's a setup, pretty much. It is a setup, and Ollie knows it. And Komodo's put like a bomb on the back of Naomi's head. Like she's on a cross near Ollie's dad's burial ground, memorial. It's really bad. And pretty much it's a fight between Komodo and Ollie. And I will show you, Ollie does get the drop on Komodo at one point. He does something that was really kind of cool. And at first, then Ollie takes it hand to hand for a while, and then Komodo's like, I thought you were an archer. He's like you can't. Basically, he says, what's the matter? Can't handle it. Need to hide behind that bow. And that's where pretty much that's where Ollie says to him, after he was able to get the drop on Komodo, and Komodo says, is this what it comes down to? Boy, a brawl? So Ollie's like, yeah, come on, let's see what you got when you ain't got your bow. And it showcased that Komodo can fight just without, he's a good hand-to-hand combatant without his bow, and he he kind of lets Ollie like, yeah, see, like you thought you had me beaten. The next you know, and then look, he says, Komodo's like, look at you, you're the heir to the queen name, beaten and alone, in the muck. Basically, I told you the first time we fought, I would be your death, boy. And then Ollie, it looks like Ollie's at his mercy. Ollie, he says basically, he says, that's not what you told me. He says, what was it again? A true archer doesn't need a bow. And pretty much, I'll show you. Booyah! Stabs Komodo in the eye with an arrow. And pretty much, he says, and then Ollie says, might be hard to aim now with one eye. And Ollie's being a traditional hero. Like, look, Komodo, you need help. You need medical attention. Or you're gonna bleed out. Let me help you. Let's see if we can get that mask off of you and see who you really are and everything like that. But unfortunately, Ollie wasn't paying attention, where he dropped one of his gas bomb arrows, and Komodo was able to get away. But in the meantime, it's kind of a happy scene where Ollie hugs Naomi, and Ollie's basically like, look, I'm sorry, Naomi, I did not mean this to happen to you, everything like that. And Naomi says, I still want to be a part of your team. I still want to be a part of this. And pretty much they still need to clear Ollie's name, because he's still wanted for murder. But they got, Naomi was able to back up a lot of stuff to clear his name. And then months later, a week later after that, Ollie gets knocked out by somebody, by a sheriff. And basically it's the next story arc, return to the island where it all began for him. So, yeah. But other than that, it was superb with me now. Very good indeed. Oh boy, so you still with me, guys? I hope you guys are still with me. I apologize, guys, in advance for the hour-long, reviews, but I like to talk and I like to explain some things so people can understand where, some of the, especially if you don't read it, you want to get a gist of what's going on with what's going on. I'm your guy. I'll tell you what's going on. All right. So we move on to Miss Gail Simone. I'm a Gail Simone fanboy. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to say it out loud. Yes, I love Gail Simone, and I'll follow her to the ends of the earth. Yeah. Such a very sweet woman. If you ever get a chance to tweet her or talk to her, just truly down to earth. Very much. I have down to earth woman. And this is her title, The Movement. No longer outcasts, no longer misfits. They are the movement. Gail Simone and Freddie Williams II is the artwork on this. Okay. This title takes place in Coral City, and we see in the beginning the justice system in this city is kind of corrupt, in a sense. I'm talking corrupt. You don't believe me? All right, let me show you. Here we got I guess patrol cars. They got this young group, right? Two youngsters. One is making sure, like, patting them down, giving them a pat down, like he's like, basically, there better not be anything sharp in here that's gonna stick me, so help me God. And he pulls out, I guess, a stash of cocaine or something, and he's like, that's not mine, I'm not dealing and everything like that. And he says, well, that's very interesting, who cares, in the squad car, sir. And it's like, what the fuck, like, yo. So then one of them says, yo, Joseph, he's telling to his partner, I don't think this is a bad kid, these bad kids are bad, I say we give him a warning. And then basically the other guy, his partner's like, you're going all soft on me, Lewis. I swear. You good. You keep the evidence, and one more thing. your girlfriend gives a little peek there. There you go. Give us a little peek, and then you can go. So it's like, so when I'm reading this, I'm like, to these cops already, like, you motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, we see people basically recording this. And it starts, we see these people in masks. And they get caught. And then pretty much it goes from there. And we start to see that their captain sees all this, and they're like, occupation, everything. We get to see a lot of different individuals in there, and we get to introduce to some of the people. For example, there's we get to see this person known as Catharus. We get to see this guy called Rat, this guy called Tremor, woman called Tremor. We get to see no, his name is Mouse. Excuse me, his name is Mouse. Like I said, Tremor. These people, these young heroes of power. We get to see this individual. What's her name? What's her name? Damn it, I'm forgetting her name. What is her name? I'm trying to figure out her name. I'm sorry, guys. We get to find this woman. Her name is. Oh God, I can't remember her name. What the hell? Virtue. And basically, what she can do is kind of cool because she can ride emotions. Like she can touch you and your emotions, and she can ride it. And she was talking to the police captain, and she rode his emotions all the way back to her wife. And then and she scanned his house and everything like that. And then she comes back and says, "Your wife's having an affair." And I was like, "Whoa!" And he's like, "You're lying." He's like, "Nope, it's all over. They did it everywhere." And she says, "You want to know the name?" And he's like, "No, yes, no, yes." And he's like, "Okay, Officer Eric Kyle Yee." And we see this guy Yee in the beginning, so it's like, oh, so this is the movement. This is them. And for the first issue, not bad. Not bad, not bad, Miss Simone. Very, very good. I really, really enjoyed what I read. And that's just me. I enjoyed it. I'm not too fond of this guy Mouse though, because he's got rats and he controls rats, and no, not rats. I'm not scared of rats. I just don't like them too much. I'm not too fond of rats. Yeah, rats. But other than that, the other characters are really interesting. I was very interesting in this. But yeah, the movement #1, very good. Very good indeed. And so the next we move on to is World's Finest Power Girl and Huntress and Power Girl, Levitz. Look who's back in her old outfit. Basically, in this, Desaad of Apocalypse has been exiled to planet Earth, to the Earth. And he's gonna make Karen and Helena's life a living hell. And that's pretty much what the gist of this is. He's making her life a living hell. And he's killing people that mean something to Karen while she's on Earth, on this Earth instead of in her time. And a lot of things are changing for Karen now. Like, she likes being rich, about being out there in the public eye, but now Desaad is just messing with him. It was Desaad in the disguise as Michael Holt, Mr. Terrific, when we know Mr. Terrific's in Earth 2. So it's Desaad. But yeah, it's not looking so good. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is Huge's artwork. I could be wrong, but other than that, that's pretty much the gist of it. And they plan now to go underground to take out the side. Okay. So now we kind of get like they got a major enemy now, and I'm fine with that. Looks like a new turn point now for these two. But yeah, it was very interesting. The side looks creepy. I'm not even joking about that. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys stayed with me as much as I did. Like I said, I hope you guys tune to Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, because I have some reviews that are going up there. I still got to put up the 2 reviews that I talked about last week, as well as Son of Merlin #4. So check out what I thought about Son of Merlin #4. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Y'all guys take care. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. We're winding down to that 100th episode live. That will be live. Like I said, I might dress up for that one because it's my 100th episode. But other than that, you guys take care. And this is my Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, y'all take care.